Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Rockingham County Board of Commissioners meeting of November 27, 2024. Please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. In attendance today, here at the county, I have Commissioner Cherichello and myself, Commissioner Godu, as your acting chair. And in Zoom land, we have Commissioner Coyle.
Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioner. Okay, so that our board is 100% in attendance, and we'll move right along to the consent agenda.
Sure. We're starting with meeting minutes, and we had a amendment to one meeting minute and then some others. So my first motion is to seal the October 24th, 2024 minutes of the non-public session number 6 indefinitely, because it's determined that the divulgence of the information would likely affect adversely the reputation of any person other than a member of this board.
Second. Any discussion on this revision? It looked good to me. Commissioner Coyle.
Yes.
Commissioner Cherichello.
Yes.
I vote yes. Okay, next motion.
I move to approve the October 24th, 2024 non-public meeting minutes and the November 7th, 2024 public and non-public meeting minutes.
Any discussion on these minutes?
They looked good to me.
Look good to me. Okay, Commissioner Cherichello.
Yeah.
Commissioner Coyle.
Yes.
And I vote yes. All right, moving on to adult medical pay care payout report. Adult medical daycare payout report. This is for discussion. My observation is that we're doing well. We're under budget. Oh, no, that's the other one.
We're right on.
We're right on schedule to complete for the year. The percentage that's been spent right now. So I think that if we stay on the same level of service to these two organizations, we'll be in good shape for the year.
I agree.
Any other discussion on that?
No.
I agree. We're just slightly under budget for proportionately, so it leaves just a little bit of wiggle room, but we want to try to push up right against that $100,000 mark, which is what we're doing. So I feel really happy and comfortable. And when you look at how many people we've, especially Silverthorne, it's really nice to see there's a number of residents that are utilizing the service.
Agreed. Okay, so moving on to accounts payable list.
I move to approve the November 27th, 2024 accounts payable list total of $1,731,896.62.
Any discussion on the accounts payable list? Look like normal expenses, spending too much on agency, but for the nursing home, but I know that's improving.
And we're still under budget, as we will, not to be spoiler alert, but
we are under budget. I'd like to be $4 million under budget.
Well, we're doing
I don't
pretty
know if
well.
we get there. Okay, on the motion, Commissioner Cherichello.
Yes.
Commissioner Coyle.
Yes.
And I vote yes. All right, Commissioner updates. Commissioner Cherichello.
I have nothing.
Nothing up to update.
Nope.
Commissioner Coyle.
I'll speak briefly just because Superintendent Henry is not here because he's at a divisional meeting, but the house, there's 139 in the house. There's been yesterday I talked to him, there were lots of hospital runs. There are lots of people going out to the hospital for various reasons, which is pretty taxing on staff. As Attorney Conway can probably attest to, as well as from personal experiences, we're entering the season of DWIs and domestic violence incidents just with the holidays. And because of that, what we see is a influx in intakes at the jail. So people are often getting released on bail, but they're being held overnight pending arraignment. And when those things happen, they have to do a lot of intakes. So increase in women, all sorts of things right now. So it's pretty busy over at the jail.
Okay, thank you. I have a couple of things to update on. Yesterday, I had the opportunity to tour the new building and looked at all the progress. Everything is fantastic. We're gonna have some great space. They forgot to put windows in the commissioner's offices, but I think that we can deal with that along the way. And the meeting space and the public meeting space is particularly good. We'll be able to show movies. There's so much room there. But everything was going well and very happy with the progress there. After that tour, I had an opportunity to attend drug court graduation. My first time attending this event, there were two participants who graduated, and I sat and listened to their stories, and I was very impressed with the work that they did and what they were able to achieve through this program. I think that the judge and the folks that are administrating this program were at least as excited as the graduates to have improved their life. And this is a program that is worthy of noting. And I just make one comment on what one of the graduates said, that this is the only program that he has completed except for a jail term. And that really kind of hit home with me, that he had, had so much troubles with his life all along the way, that this was the first success that he could really hang his hat on, and looks like he's doing a great job. And both the graduates were doing a great job. So it was heartwarming to see the work that is being accomplished, and thank you to all the folks that are involved in that process.
And if I just may, Commissioner Godu, just to dovetail, I've been to a number of drug court graduations. They are really inspiring, and just to see people's progression. And, I think in the court system and sort of in the justice system, sometimes everybody feels moments of jaded, feels like it's just repeating the cycle and that you're not really making a difference. And when you go to drug court, it really feels like it's so inspiring to see the progress. With that, it's sort of, we tying it to the new building and having the community corrections program, I think is going to be another great tool for Rockingham County to combat drug addiction. So,
yeah,
in a similar way.
It was truly rehabilitation as opposed to punishment, and good for all of us. Okay, so we can move on to County Attorney's Office. Victim Crimes Federal Grant.
Just backing up, Commissioner, do you want to talk about the Rygate Association?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Probably just address that very quickly.
We have a request from Rygate Associates requesting a letter of intent for us to purchase wood chips. And we have that information open for discussion. It seems like an odd request to me. But anybody want to start that? Go ahead, Commissioner Coyle.
Sure. Just briefly, we did get a legal advice on that, which is we can't really do a letter of intent because we go through the competitive bidding process, and it shows some favoritism or when it's supposed to be a competitive bidding process. So it's unfortunate that I understand this individual is trying to get going, but I think it opens the county up to too much legal liability to do such a letter at this time.
I had considered the possibility of revising the letter. I don't know if it would do the recipient any good, just to say that the purchaser is interested in receiving competitive bid from the seller at competitive market terms. Now, I don't know that this is for bank financing, and I don't know, just saying that we're interested in receiving their bid is even helpful to them. And the other question that came to my mind was whether we're even interested in white pine chips, because currently we're using hardwood. I don't even know if that fits in to what we're doing. So I think for the moment, we probably pass on this unless somebody has another opinion. Okay, so we're gonna pass on signing that letter for the moment. Now we can move on to the Victims of Crime Federal Grant from the
Sure.
County Attorney's
Move to-
Office.
I move to approve the continuation of the application process for the fiscal year 2026 Victims of Crime Federal Grant in the amount of $50,000 and authorize the electronic submission on behalf of the acting chair as recommended by the county attorney.
Second. Any discussion on this grant?
This is an annual grant. It's really helpful for the victim witness advocate and other tools for the county attorney's office. So
I noted that this is an ARPA grant. And ARPA funds, and this is through the state, not through our county funds. Doesn't that need to be obligated by the end of this year in order for that to, oh, Chuck is gonna inform us. I see his hand up. Chuck, tell us about this.
Yeah, so you're right, Commissioner. This is the state, because what happened was the state stopped doing the VOCA funding because it wasn't as reliable through the feds. So they started using some of their ARPA funds for it instead. And so the state, since the performance period for ARPA funds is through 12/31/26, the state kind of put a very short deadline on the fiscal year 2026 state ARPA, formerly known as VOCA grants, because that way the state can encumber or obligate more of their ARPA funds by 12/31/24. So that's exactly what the state is doing, because normally this application window, I think, would be more like due in like end of March or something like that. Pat, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but we're talking about more like an early springtime deadline than now. And basically they need to get everything on the governor and council agenda for December, so that can truly be obligated by the end of December. So that's exactly what the state is doing.
Okay, good to know. All right, so we should quickly approve this motion, I think. Commissioner Cherichello?
Yes.
Commissioner Coyle?
yes,
And I vote yes. All right, that's great. Move on to Human Resources Exception Request.
I move to approve an exception request to personnel policy 7-4 for a long-term care services employee JC as recommended by the Senior Director of Long-Term Care Services and the Senior Director of Human Resources.
Second.
Any discussion on this exception request? All right, seeing none, Commissioner Cherichello?
Yes.
Commissioner Coyle?
Yes,
And I vote yes. All right, another exception request from Human Resources.
I move to approve an internal only posting under chapter 10-3 recruitment selection and appointment of employees, recruitment procedures, internal only postings as requested by the Senior Director of Human Resources.
Second.
Any discussion on this request? I had a discussion with Kathy Stacy, and it seems very appropriate that this is this exception request goes through. They have uniquely qualified people that are necessary to keep the office running properly. So
And it's nice when we can support growth internally.
absolutely it is. So on the motion, Commissioner Coyle,
Yes,
Commissioner Cherichello?
Yes.
And I vote yes. All right, repurpose lawn care services, repurpose position.
sure. I move to approve repurposing the full-time admissions assistant position to a full-time admissions specialist position effective January 26, 2025, pending approval by the executive committee as recommended by the Senior Director of Human Resources.
Second.
Any discussion on this motion? Seeing
think-
none, Commissioner,
well,
go ahead, Commissioner Coyle.
Yeah, there are a number of positions that we're doing some repurposing and reorganization. And as people, you're aware, and I'm just going to speak generally to this. Obviously there was some repurposing and reorganization under the last administrator, long-term care, and now we're just trying to streamline operations and make it most effective with our new administrator.
I agree. We have a new administrator and she is doing a great job and reorganizing so that her plans get executed the way they need to. So I'm
And
in
running
favor
more
of this.
efficiently.
And more efficiently, agreed. All right, Commissioner Coyle,
Yes.
Commissioner Chercello?
Yes.
And I vote yes. All right, another repurposed position.
Yes, I move to approve repurposing one full-time floor maintenance operator position to one full-time environmental services technician position effective January 26, 2025, pending approval by the executive committee as recommended by the Senior Director of Human Resources.
Any further discussion on this? Same as the last. Commissioner Chercello?
Yes.
Commissioner Coyle?
Yes.
And I vote yes. All right, one more.
I move to approve repurposing the general manager position to employee engagement supervisor effective December 1st, 2024, as recommended by the Senior Director of Human Resources.
Second.
Any discussion on this position change? Commissioner Chercello?
Yes.
Commissioner Coyle?
Yes.
And I vote yes. All right, job title and job description change.
That's one. I move to approve a title change in job description for the Assistant Director of Long-Term Care Services to Executive Director Compliance Officer as recommended by the Senior Director of Human Resources.
Second.
Any further discussion on this?
Again, all part of the same reorganization and efficiency. So we appreciate the ideas coming in.
All right, Commissioner Chercello?
Yes.
Commissioner Coyle?
Yes.
My vote yes.
Thank you.
All right, let's see, AccuShield renewal.
I move to approve the AccuShield contract renewal for the period beginning January 1st, 2025 through December 31st, 2025 for $195 per kiosk and authorize the chair to sign all necessary documents as recommended by the Senior Director of Long-Term Care Services.
Second.
Discussion on this.
When it says $195, what is that like per what? Per
Per
machine,
kiosk.
per kiosk per year or per month or? I somehow missed that.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the total is on this, and
Well, it must be for a year because the motion says January 1st, 2025 through December 31st, 2025.
so that's just $200, $400. How many kiosks do we have?
We have 3 kiosks. I believe it's monthly though, I'll verify. Essentially, it's the same program that we have now. It was on a continual update, so we're just adapted the contract so that we would be able to continue to get it in place for the 1 year through the ARPA funds.
Great.
This is all ARPA funds?
Yeah. So with our current contract, because it was a continuation, Chuck was able to catch that. So the only way to get it, Elaine did a lot of work to get the contract to not be reoccurring. So that way it would meet the requirements to fall under that and get it done in time to capture it.
So we can obligate it, the money, ARPA funds. Great.
And do we need these kiosks continuing? Is this a requirement still?
So there's requirements in regards to having a system. It doesn't specify that it has to be per se the kiosk. Through lots of conversations at this time, that's the route that we would like to continue and then continue to evolve where the numbers haven't continued to decrease to a space. And it is a measure that we feel has been very proactive and helpful for the community to be able to kind of see the numbers we do and catch things the way that we do.
I also think the fact that it keeps track of everybody coming through in the way it does and that it, it requires attestations from everybody is just from a liability standpoint an excellent tool for the county.
So this is approximately $7,200 expense for the year towards ARPA funds. Does that
Yeah.
kind of make sense?
6 times 12.
Yeah. Even lawyer math goes with that. Okay, well, any further discussion on this? All right, Commissioner Coyle,
Yes.
Commissioner Chercello?
Yes.
And I vote yes.
Thank you.
Okay, next is discussion on the nurse's salary line for review. That was the one I was referring to earlier. That is right in line and where $400,000 or $500,000 below our budget schedule. And, I'm still hoping for 4 million, but I'm a little bit,
Well, we're on track for over 1.5,
right,
right?
Yep.
So,
exactly
and
right.
especially with the hiring rates, when we look at our numbers, I mean, actually, being over 2 million ultimately is not out of the question realm of possibilities. Now, it might be a little ambitious, but when you do, I mean, even at the same pace without any more, without accounting for the new hires, we're still it's really going well. So thank you for everybody's efforts in that respect.
Yeah, and thank you, Elaine, for keeping track of all this. This has been a great asset for us to watch this closely. Okay, no further discussion on that. We'll move on to department head updates. And Allison, you can lead us off.
Hi, it's Allison Kivakowski, Senior Director of Human Resources. We're finalizing the Halloween winter event, which is the County Attorney's Office. That'll happen the second week in December. All the other departments will get a token of thank you for participating, and that'll roll out next week. The November recognition items that we do monthly for each of the departments has gone out. Eileen has sent those out. And that is all we have right now. We're getting ready for the wellness, wellness gift that will go out in December. Those the items should be received today. And then in the next 2 weeks, we'll get those together and get those out to all the departments for their employees. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Allison. Jude.
Good morning, Jude Gates, Senior Director of Facilities Planning and IT. Situation normal with facilities. We're very busy as usual. We had our first calling in the Sanders last night, so it's official, winter is here. I did want to thank Allison and the board again for the recognition luncheon that you had for our department last week. I think it meant a great deal to the guys that you were there and you spoke so kindly, and it was very much appreciated. Thank you. That's all I have.
Great, thank you, Jude. Layla, you have anything that you'd like to share today? Okay, then move on to Chuck. Chuck
Thank you, Chuck Nickerson, Finance Director. Just busy as usual, grants, financial statements, single audits, that kind of fun stuff. Obviously, just, it was a very busy week with AP, having a shortened time to get things out, but it all worked. So thank you for all the departments for really holding to those deadlines last week. And just happy Thanksgiving to everyone.
Great, thank you, Chuck. Chantel.
Good morning, Chantel Jaconin, Senior Director of Long-Term Care Services. Our census at the nursing home is 135. Our census at the assisted living is 48. We have one resident in the nursing home who is COVID positive, no staff members who are COVID positive. Just some general updates. Our Winter Wonderland is coming along, which will be on the 23rd. One of our staff members actually donated a very large tree. So thank you to them, but also Jude's team in helping kind of get that up. But every day you go, there's something new. So people are getting really excited and the residents are happy. So if you are going to be around, stop by. Other than that, have been spending a lot of time, as you all just heard, working closely with HR around systems and trying to kind of streamline some of the positions, getting some just general systems up. We've officially started our RCMs around cash collection for some of those pieces, which has been really great. And other than that, I have some upcoming workshop days, so to speak, with some of the other county homes who are going to help us with some of the systems and education to kind of close some of those gaps over here. So excited for those to come as well. Other than that, everything's just systems, and hope everyone has a wonderful holiday.
Thank you, Chantel. And I'll just emphasize the Winter Wonderland in the atrium looks fantastic. I've had some residents comment how much fun it is, and visitors. I thank your staff for putting that together. Pat Conway.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. We're really busy here dealing with some jury trials and hearings and the things that we always deal with. So things are going well, though. It's all good. I thank you, Commissioner Godu, for attending our recovery court graduation. The name has changed from drug court to recovery court, just so you know. But it is a really amazing program, and it makes a difference for a lot of people who suffer from substance use disorder. And we have a assistant county attorney who works on the team, and he's been involved for years now. And you know what I'm told, and just from going to the trainings myself, consistency of the team, meaning one of the assistant county attorneys, someone from the public defender's office, probation officer, and the treatment providers really makes a difference. So, you know, I'm very thankful and proud of the attorney who works with the rest of the team. But again, I do think it's a really meaningful program. And I think it's important that officials such as yourself show up at the graduation. I think it means a lot to the participants. So thank you.
Thank you. And I'll just comment that you have a luxury floor in the process for your new digs in the new building. I was very impressed with what they're doing there. You're gonna have, it's gonna be very different from what you're used to. There's gonna be a cultural change, I think. Okay, Kathy Stacy.
Good morning. We've been pretty busy end of the month. I'm sure I'm actually surprised that Chuck didn't try to bust my bubble by saying we had a $12 million sale yesterday. It's an assisted living facility over in Londonderry, but we've had a couple of big ones in Portsmouth and in Raw. Everything's at the Seacoast other than that big transaction, and still going strong. Other than that, I wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving and safe travels if you're traveling.
Great. Thank you very much, Kathy. I think that concludes our department head updates. So next we'll take up any new business or old business that somebody has to bring up. Chuck Dickinson.
Just one brief thing. I forgot to mention that the Medicare cost report for fiscal year 2024 was e-filed yesterday with CMS. So we met the 11:30 deadline. So just wanted to bring up that. So
Excellent. Thank you. Commissioner Coyle, you have any other new business?
I don't. Just happy
Okay.
Thanksgiving to everybody.
Great, thank you. All right, members of the public who would like to make a comment, now is your opportunity.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving from Commissioner-elect Tom Tombarello. Seeing nobody else, we can move from that and enter into our non-public session. You're muted.
Yes, I saw that. Thanks.
Thank
I
you.
move to enter into non-public pursuant to 91A:3. I think, I guess, do we want to start with long-term care and then move to commissioners and then do human resources? Does that make sense?
That's fine. I'm happy with that order.
Okay,
So we'll start with long-term care.
right,
So,
and
we have a motion?
we'll also invite Commissioner-elect Tombarello to attend.
I second it.
We have a motion on the floor that's been seconded to move into non-public. Commissioner Coyle,
Yes.
Commissioner Cherichello, and I vote yes. We're in non-public session. We have returned from our non-public session and Commissioner Coyle has some motions for us.
Yes, we had a total of 9 non-public sessions. With respect to numbers 1 through 4, I move to seal those minutes indefinitely because it could adversely affect the reputation of an individual other than a member of this board. I move to seal.
Oh, okay.
Can we take them one at a time?
What'd you say?
You wanna do it one at a time, or you wanna just do the rattle them all
I was
off?
just gonna do them all in one
Okay, go
motion.
ahead. Sorry.
I'm-
Okay,
Move to seal items 6, 7, and 8 of non-public sessions until January 1st, 2025, because it could render a proposed action ineffective, but it should be resolved by that date. And I move to seal number 9 indefinitely because it could render a proposed action ineffective and we don't have a end time to that resolution.
Okay. On the complicated motion, Commissioner Coyle,
Yes.
Commissioner Chercello,
Yes.
and I vote yes.
Now, the
And
most important motion,
yes, I move to adjourn.
second,
Commissioner Chercello,
absolutely yes.
Commissioner Coyle,
Yes, and happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
and I'm a yes. We are adjourned. Happy Thanksgiving.